What's up? Good afternoon, Buck fans. How y'all doing? It's football Sunday. I hope you got the nasty taste out of your mouth about the Detroit game because we are moved on and we are in the Big Easy against the New Orleans Saints, who we need to beat so we can go into the bye week. And before we get into all that, welcome to Bucs Report, AJ Turnup's pregame. Now, I need y'all to subscribe out there to Bucs Report, the aftermath with my co-host Slick. Also, look us up on Spotify, iHeartRadio, and iTunes. We're trying to expand out there. Spread the word out there, Buck fans. This is the place where you come to get the real football advice, real football concepts, real football context. We don't sugarcoat. We're not other networks out there. We're here to speak our minds. If the Bucks do good, hooray, we will cheer. If they do silly shit, we're going to check them because that's what we do here. We're very blunt. We don't do the sugarcoating shit. So I just want to get everybody prepared for that. So for Buck fans out there, if you got your kids, you might need to take them away, or better yet, let them listen to this because this is real football shit right here. And again, afternoon. Hope y'all doing all right. We're playing the New Orleans Saints, but before we even get into the Saints matchup, because realistically, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers should take care of the Saints team, and I'll get into that. But I want to have a PSA announcement to my fellow Buck fans out there because it's a mixed bag out there right now, and I want to remind the Tampa Bay Buccaneers community and for the people out there who love football and just want to know what's really going on in Tampa. Tampa, are you ready for this, Bucs fans? Your Tampa Bay Buccaneers is still a top NFL tier team, especially in the NFC. They are still among the top three. Don't let anyone tell you different. Don't let the media persuade you in the wrong direction. Do not allow silly ass other media takes that don't watch the Bucs the way that we do mislead you, misdirect you. That anybody who was going to win between the Bucs and the Lions last week was going to be overinflated, and that's exactly what happened. Do not let them put this doubt in your head. Yes, with Mike Evans is the biggest hurt. That is what makes me mad about that game, is because Evans 9 times out of 10 his streak is done. However, he is still tied with the great Jerry Rice, so no need to fret. And no need to panic, Buck fans. I'm very aware of the situation. Yes, the offensive line is still shaky. Yes, we are down Mike Evans. We don't know about Chris Godwin. We don't know when McMillan's coming back. We're short of Bucky. We don't know about Gedeke. But I want Buck fans, calm down. Your Tampa Bay Buccaneers are 2, despite the injuries with Mike Evans, despite the injuries with Godwin, despite the injuries with McMillan, despite the injuries with Gedeke. We are finding ways to win, and that's what's important. Good teams find a way to win. And I'm very aware of the Detroit game, but if you take off your fan cap and you watch it from a football perspective, the Detroit Lions did not look all that impressive, ladies and gentlemen. The Detroit Lions were not dominant as you think that the media is going to try to make you think. That's not what it is. It's not like that. Of course, the Bucs offense screwed the Bucs in the end, but that defense did a fantastic job against a so-called high-powered Lions offense. And we're not even gonna, you know what? I'm gonna mention it. We can with a straight face say that the Bucs were not only playing the Detroit Lions, they were playing the officiating. The Mike Evans was a catch, and it was pass interference. Cade Otton had the ball. Last time I checked, the rules were if the offense and defense fight for it, it goes automatically to the offense. So we know that we had an uphill battle. I find it very funny that when the Bucs play teams like the Eagles or Detroit, more marketable, popular teams, the narrative shifts for that team, that's when the Bucs all of a sudden get bad calls. And mind you, I'm not here to say that it's completely on the officiating, but I do see a pattern here. When the Bucs were playing the Eagles, Quinion Mitchell could grab and hold everybody all fucking day, and nothing happened. I could see that the Bucky was not that fumble was not a fumble. Go to Detroit again with the missed holdings, people slapping people in the back of their heads, and the illegal contact that Dean got. Meanwhile, Amon St. Brown ran into him. So yes, the Bucs have got to. It's almost as it's unfortunate, but when Bucs play teams that are more favored and they're popular not only in the NFL's eyes but the media, they have to come out and play perfect damn near. And we know that's unfortunate because that's not real football. But damn it, the Bucs always thrive under pressure when we are forgotten, not when we're hyped. So the Buccaneer fans, throw that Detroit game away. Grizzard, take notes. Again, it wasn't just on the officiating for the Detroit and Eagles game. The issue is when we play up against teams like that, this is the time where Grizzard, you are going to have to establish your dominance and you're going to have to be aggressive. I was mentioning this before. With everything going on, the mentality has got to change for this Bucs coaching staff. Todd Bowles, it's time to turn up the heat. Todd Bowles, it's time to be more aggressive. It is time to swing. It is time to throw the haymakers. You have to, Bowles. You have no choice at this point. You see every time when we play a team and they're marching down the field because you continue to do this shit. You're going to have to change your game up. Without Hassan being in for God only knows how long, you can't continue to give up the back end, sending 5 or 6 people. That's good teams like Detroit and Philly will beat us. So, but still, Buck fans, you still have a top-tier team. The only people that are ruining it for us is the casual-ass fans. And for the Detroit casuals out there, I'm talking directly to y'all. Go sit your ass down and shut up. And if you can't talk football logic to me, then get the hell off my lives. If you go check out my lives on TikTok, y'all, AJ Turnup, I hear the most ridiculous things. These are the same people that want to talk shit about the Bucs and talk about how great the offense is for the Detroit Lions. But then when I ask them, is Amon-Ra played the X or Y or Z? Then it's, what? Well, he's in the slot. Okay, that's the Y. When I ask them what type of offensive scheme they work, do they run power? Do they run zone? Are they gap blockers? Oh, well, they're guessing. For you casual Detroit fans, you're just getting good. You haven't been to the dance yet. The dance is the Super Bowl. You haven't even touched it yet. So calm down because it can easily go away just like this. It already has, to be honest. You're not going to be a 15-2 winning team like you were last season. At best, I see you guys maybe 12 or 13. So calm it down. Calm your nerves. If you can't talk football, then I don't want to hear from you. So just keep your mouth closed. The same goes for Eagles fans. Same goes for any of you casuals. When your team all of a sudden is becoming good and the media is kissing your ass, and now you think you know football, you don't. Because if your team was still ass, you wouldn't have all this shit to talk. So, like he said, like I'm telling you, I'm happy that your team is getting better, but you need to put some respect on it. The most important thing is winning the championships. Nobody's gonna give a fuck if your team was 4 years good and they couldn't even get to past the division conference championship. It will be a waste. So, Detroit fans, casual fans, the real Detroit fans understand. Because the real Detroit fans remember the 08 season where they had Megatron and they went 0-16. The real Detroit fans know that Megatron and Barry Sanders, 2 generational players, retired because their organization was shitty. So for you casual Detroit fans out there, that's a reminder. Humble thyself. Sit down and shut the fuck up. Now let's get on to the Bucs and Saints game. This is a win game. It is a must win. And here's the reason why. You want to dominate this team early in order to walk away without injuries and go into the bye week feeling good at 6-2. 6-2 is a hell of a lot better than 5-3. Now let's get to the keys of the game. I'm going to start on the offensive side. Grizzard, you're playing a team as dusty and sorry as the Saints are. They still are going to be a scrappy team. They are still going to want to give everything they have to disrupt this Bucs team. They have nothing to lose. So you should expect to see a lot of man coverage. You should expect to see them load the box. You should expect blitzes. You should expect them to be aggressive. And what do you need to do with that, Grizzard? You're going to have to be just as aggressive and explosive. And the most important thing, you cannot be predictable, Grizzard. Get the rollouts early with Baker. Get the crossing routes early for the receiving core. Run out of 11-man personnel. For people out there who don't know what that is a 1 running back, a 1 tight end, and 3 wide receivers. You still have enough pieces on offense and enough firepower to put this team away. Run mesh, get some bunches going, and then utilize each of these receivers differently. For Emeka Egbuka, who more than likely is fresh again, I want to see him run multiple routes. So I would like to see the hitch if the safety is playing zone and he's 6 to 7 yards off of Emeka. I want to see a curl route for Emeka. I want to see a slant for Emeka. I want to see a post for Emeka. I want to see a dig route for Emeka or Sterling Shepard. I want to see a seam running up the seams with Tez Johnson. I also want to see a seam route going for Cade Otton. Everybody's got to be involved in this, Grizzard. This is what I mean. You are going to have to be creative. It's not a coincidence that when we came out predictable against the Lions and the Eagles, that this offense sputtered and that we were getting 3 and outs and we could never be in sync. Running the ball will be another priority as well, Grizzard, but we got to use this pass to set up the run. Take advantage of weak secondaries. The Saints don't have a secondary to truly be worried about. This is why you lost in Detroit, because you were being too passive. You were being so obvious and you were being so weak with your play calls that the opposing team said, okay, we're going to take advantage of them. So you must start this game swinging, Bowles and Grizzard. You have to get this offense moving. There's no need to always keep Baker in the pocket. Baker does his best work on the run. And like I said, you still have more than enough receivers. You just have to take what the defense gives. Like I said, if they're going to play a lot of zone coverages and they're backing off and they're playing and they're giving a good cushion coverage, change the play up where, okay, Emeka, if he's going to be 6 to 7 yards off you, I'm going to throw a quick slant to you so you can get out there and get those yards. We need to stay in always third and manageable. We need to always be moving forward. We need to always end up being like at a 2nd and 4 or a 3rd and 1 or a 3rd and 2. We need to do that on the offensive side of the ball. And by doing that, you've got to use the shorter passes to set up the big passes. Take what the defense gives you, Grizzard. That is why I blamed you for the injury of Mike Evans, because you misused him. The first few plays, you had him running deep passes or midfields. When you shouldn't have had to. You should have got them warmed up first. Again, take what the defense gives you. And if they decide to play man, that means Otton will be ready to take advantage. Otton can be a useful tool. You have to understand this, Grizzard. You have to utilize everyone. And again, attack the middle of the field. If they're going to blow up the middle, you have to make them pay. Grizzard, it is your duty to make them pay. It's your duty because you have to get out of your head. You cannot have more faith in the opposing team than you have your own men, because that's how you're going to lose games like this. Remember, the Saints, they don't like us and we don't like them. They're going to be aggressive. Demario Davis is their only true weapon. Cam Jordan is just robbing the damn Saints. He ain't worth shit, but don't put him in a position to where he thinks he has a chance. The offense, you need to swing and swing fast. You need to get up 14-0 by the first quarter, because if you can do that, that will affect the morale of the Saints. That will make them feel as if, okay, the game is over already. But I can tell you this right now, Grizzard, if you allow this Buccaneers team, if you allow the Saints to stick around, that's how bad things can happen. We need to be going into the halftime by at least 17-3, 20-7, at worst 17-3. But if they go into that halftime and it's 10-6 or 10-7 or 13-7, now you're giving them life. Now you're allowing a bad Saints team saying, you know what? They've thrown their best at us, and yet we're only down this much. Yeah, we can take this team. Let's ruin it for them. Let's put them, let's get an upset. Do you really want to go out like that, Bucs? Grizzard, again, we're 5-2 right now. Carolina is knocking on the door. Now, I think they will lose today, but let's just say a miracle happens. The Bucs fuck this up against the Saints, and then the Panthers win. Now we're both 5, and now they have a game. They'll run the division. No, they'll tie. I'm sorry, they're 4-3. They would tie, but why do we need to tie with the Carolina Panthers? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are a far better team in this division. We need to be running away with this shit. We need to be at this point to by early December, where we're like, all right, we're playing our last game against the Falcons. This will win us the NFC South. We have the potential to sweep everyone this season in our division, but it's going to be up to you, Grizzard, on how aggressive and how far you're willing to go. It's going to be up to you to make this right. You want them to start fast, then you got to call the right plays. You got to be aggressive. We don't have Bucky back there to where we can just run the ball like we want to. Now, unless you see something different in their run defense, and if you're going to run the ball, then damn it, run it. If you're going to run the first play, and let's say if you get 3 to 4 yards, run the fucking ball again. Even if they expect it, because at that point, just don't be predictable. Don't run the ball, and then it gets to 2nd and 7, and now they go, oh, yeah, they're about to pass again. No, they're going to pass. And then that just sets them up. No. Commit. If you're going to run the ball, then I need Rachaad White to get between 12 to 15 carries, and then I need Sean Tucker to get between 10 to 12 carries. And when it comes to Sean Tucker, you need to be having him run to the outside or giving toss plays, because he makes his money basically by running to the outside because he has explosive speed. So that is the entire key components of the game when it comes to the offensive side in a nutshell. They have got to spread the field, run out of that 11-man or 10-man personnel, use the pass to set up the run, take advantages, utilize each of their receivers, attack the middle of the field. Now, we're going to get on the defensive side. Ty Bowles, I hope you really learned your lesson by watching Dan Campbell. You see what happened when the Detroit Lions got up double digits. Dan Campbell did not let his foot off the gas. What did he do? He continued to play aggressive. One, he understood that he wasn't enough. He wasn't up by much in his mind because he knows how good Baker was. So if anything, what Dan was doing was paying respect to Baker Mayfield, because he knows even if they're down 2 possessions, that's not enough. It's too much time on the clock. Bowles, you have got to get this mentality out of your head. It's okay to start aggressive early. It's okay to play man coverage early. You're going up against a weaker offense. Rattler is not the guy for the future and the long term for the Saints. So take advantage. You need to be aggressive. Olave is not the guy. You can't be so scared of getting beat deep. Olave is not that guy. He's not. So don't give him the confidence to make him feel that he's the guy, Bowles. Hassan Reddick is out. You don't have a consistent pass rush yet, even with Hassan there. So you want to have your secondary help your pass rush. If you can disrupt the timing with the Saints receivers, that will have a major advantage for your defense to get to Rattler. Their biggest weapon is still Kamara, and Kamara can make you pay. He's not what he was, but you do see they're going to set up screen passes for him. Do not be surprised if Kamara is in a package where he's going to be receiving the ball. This is a game, Bowles, that you need to have a statement win. This is a game where you must enforce your will to say, okay, this team is bad, so let's put them away early. You want to save your defense and offensive players from getting injuries. If you could put 20-something points up in the first half and they only have 3 to 6 points, then you can start, and then maybe in the third quarter you get another touchdown. Then you can start sitting players down so they can heal and they can rest. And then you can go into the bye week going, okay, we are 6-2. We are 6-2. A lot of people did not expect us to get there, but we are here, Dan. But Bowles, you cannot afford to do this cushion coverage. There is no reason to fill this team out. The Saints are a bad team, and you are a good team. Good teams put away bad teams early. Do not allow them to have the thought that they can hang with you, Bowles. That is going to be your number one priority. And that is really the key to the defense. They got to start aggressive early, play more man, get the blitzing going, be exotic with it. But the most important thing is play that man early. You don't need to try to fill them out. It's not worth it. Now, with all that being said, I want to remind the Bucs fans again that we're going to be fine. Now, I also do think that if this is a team that is destined to make the Super Bowl, which I think so, Jason Light, you are going to have to do certain things you don't want to do. I am very aware that you love your draft picks. I'm very aware you like picking from there, and I am very aware you are an expert at that. But let's be real. If we're in win now mode, you need to make some things happen. You need to go to certain teams that wouldn't mind, that are in an all sale. I look at New York Jets. I think McDonald would be a great addition to the Bucs. You can give away a third and a fifth and maybe another player for McDonald, because that is another thing that I was listening to other commentators like Joe Bucs fan and them, and of course it's, well, we do need another receiver. I don't think that's the answer. Do I think that maybe? I get it. I'd say at least this Saints game and let's just see how if the receivers do very well, and I get it, it's the Saints, but I want the Bucs to focus on more of a pass rush, because that to me is what's going to determine our success in the playoffs. Because if we can get a pass rush and someone of McDonald's caliber next to Vita Vea, that makes a big difference. Yaya's doing much better. That is the Buccaneers are literally just a pass rush away from being true Super Bowl winners, not contenders, winners. That's what we need. So, Light, you have to make that decision. And then if you can, go get a linebacker. You should be willing to give up a third, fourth, and a fifth this year for 2 players. You should be. You should be able to. Or, again, if you could say, hey, we'll give you a third for this draft, and then we'll give you a fourth round for the 2027 draft. You got to find a way to do something getting this defense to be aggressive, because we're going to need that pass rush when it comes to the playoffs, because we're more than likely going to play the Eagles or the Lions in the NFC Championship, and we need to have a pass rush to disrupt the quarterbacks. That is it right there. And again, Buck fans, do not fret. We're getting healthy, and we will be healthy. And I want Bucks people to realize there's a reason why I kept saying that we're going to do good, because the schedule for the Bucks it bodes well. A lot. Do not, again, 1 week is not going to determine things. We don't know what the Bills are going to be like later on. We don't know what the Rams are going to be like. Puka is out. Don't let that 1 week. Jacksonville was not the team that everybody thought they were. But I want to look at this. I want to give you the schedule of the Bucks after the bye week. The biggest games, if you want to say 3 games, I'm not sold on the Patriots yet, but I get it. They are looking pretty nice. But after the Bills and Rams, those are our 2 hardest games. The Cardinals, not going to be good by then. The Saints, they probably have packed it up by then if we beat them today. The Falcons, that could be the game where when we win on December 11th, we clinch the NFC South. Then after that, we play the Panthers. They'll be back to reality by then. Dolphins is a shit show. And then the Panthers again. So for the month of December, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we could literally go 5-0 in the month of December. That's not out of the question. And when it comes to these next 3 games after the Saints, let's say we win, we can afford to drop. God forbid we drop back-to-back against the Bills and the Rams. We'll still be, let's say, at 7-4 by then. 7-4 would be really good, because then, like I said, we could win the next 5 games. I definitely could see us doing that, and then going in at 13-4. However, if the Bucks get aggressive and they stay on top of things, in my opinion, we can split. I see us beating the Bills more than likely than we beat the Rams if Puka gets back, of course. But even with those, it just depends. The Bills and the Rams are not as challenging as we once thought. And we're going to see what the Bills do today against the Panthers. If they don't go out there and put belt to ass, then I don't know what to tell you. Let's check these comments. Yes, and that is another thing. I do want to send prayers out to Doug Martin and his family. It's a very tragic situation. I'm so sorry. He was one of my favorites while I was watching him. The muscle hamster showed out. The best game that I ever saw him play was that Oakland Raiders game in 2012 as a rookie. One of the best performances by any running back for the Bucs. Again, prayers to his family. I hope they can find peace and closure. For people out there, if you know someone out there is struggling or they're hurting, if they're not in the mood to talk, just send them a message or let them know that you matter and we care for you, and you hope that they can, get through whatever, and you let them know that you're there for them and be genuine about it. In these times, we need to be genuine to each other and show that we care and show that you matter as an individual. No matter what your circumstances are, we're going to do our best to support you. So again, Doug Martin, many blessings to you and your family. It is a must win for the day. You were right. The Bucs going in at 5-3 would be okay, but 6-2. Now you can recuperate. Grizzard can get his shit together, and he can know what does well for this team. I like the motion. I really do. The jet motion is good. Let's see some fly motion sometimes. Let's see return motion. Let's get all of our players, everybody who's on this roster, especially in the offensive side, we need to give them a look. Devin Colt, Payne Durham. We need to expand, Grizzard. You can't be predictable. Not anymore. And yes, the refs did suck too. And no Saints play dirty today. Yeah, but this is why, if they're going to do that, look, the Bucs raised bolts. You're right. I honestly think that the Saints are going to come out aggressive. They're going to do everything in their power to beat this team up mentally and physically. So that's why if they're going to blitz through the middle, I need you to run out for a seam, something short. Make them pay for blitzing through the middle. I had the Bucs winning 31-24 last week. Chris, it's cool. Don't worry. I do think the Bucs will bounce back this game. They will walk away with the win. I do think that Emeka gets a touchdown. I think Otten gets a touchdown, and I think Sean Tucker gets a rushing touchdown. I think the score will be the Bucs 31, 31, Saints 17, just to give or take. I still don't see the Bucs yet being able to just blow this team out. I see us getting a decent early lead, and then Bowles, of course, does his little, his cushion coverage, and it almost looks like they're getting back in the game, but we put it away because time isn't on their side. So again, it's in reality, the Bucs still have a chance, y'all. Do not let them doubt you. I'm not saying that they're on the tear, because they're not, but there's still hope for this team. And I hope you guys don't give up on them, not just after 1 week. And again, keys to the game: offensively, start fast, use the pass to set up the run, get up early, and then on defense, play a lot more man coverage, be aggressive, and stay aggressive. And with that being said, y'all, I want to appreciate everyone in here watching AJ Turn Up Bucs Report pregame. Continue to check us out and subscribe to Bucs Report, the aftermath with my co-host Slick and the Dude. Also, check us out on Spotify, iHeartRadio, and iTunes. The Bucs are still in this, and you should be proud. Let's go, Bucs.
I don't know what to say, really. 3 minutes to the biggest battle of our professional lives. All comes down to today. Either we heal as a team, or we're gonna crumble. Inch by inch, play by play, till we're finished. We're in hell right now, gentlemen. Believe me. And we can stay here, get the shit kicked out of us, or we can fight our way back into the light. We can climb out of hell. 1 inch at a time. Now, I can't do it for you. I'm too old. I look around, I see these young faces, and I think, I made every wrong choice a middle-aged man can make. I pissed away all my money, believe it or not. I chased off anyone who's ever loved me. And lately, I can't even stand the face I see in the mirror. You know, when you get old in life, things get taken from you. That's part of life. But you only learn that when you start losing stuff. You find out life's this game of inches. So is football. Because in either game, life or football, the margin for error is so small. 1/2 a step too late or too early, and you don't quite make it. 1/2 second too slow, too fast, you don't quite catch it. The inches we need are everywhere around us. They're in every break of the game, every minute, every second.